Down here at the bottom right-hand corner of Antiga Shipyard, we have our very odd emphasis. We have our red Terran player from the team FX Open Esports, the guy who keeps surviving in the lower bracket. It is GuMiho. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner from the team Dignitas is our blue Terran player and fan favorite. It is SeleCT.
Of course, that just says "Sup Sun" in Korean. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Supposedly, actually, I heard that Slog was actually the very first originator of the Sup Sun.
Oh, really? So he was one of those
StarCraft
guys
game.
who he was happy to create it and let it take a life of its own without being
Oh, yeah.
known as the creator. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. If you are the perpetuator of a meme,
Yes.
you can't take credit for it.
Now,
That's just kind of lame, you know? You just have to just appreciate how it grows.
SeleCT actually sitting at a very early SUV. Just want to point that out. And I also want to say, SeleCT, if you're listening right now, know you're going to be at IPL 4.
Oh yeah.
Back at IPL 3, 6 months ago, you told me you were going to give me a Sup Sun shirt. I have not seen said Sup Sun shirt yet. So
hey, that's serious, man.
come on, man. All right,
That is serious.
You better
know
deliver.
what else might be serious?
What?
A proxy. Like right there, like a barracks.
Boom.
Like that one.
All right.
I don't know why he's putting it in a place that GuMiho will obviously see very quickly.
Well, we'll find out. And here comes an SUV scout. We're going to see how quickly.
Oh, man. If he scouts left, though, he won't. What? Okay, well. SeleCT a little bit lucky there, because if you scout the right position, that SUV skirts along the right side of that ramp and would have seen that barracks.
And
no question about it.
And SeleCT is putting up gas a little bit earlier this time, so it looks like he's going to have that 25 right around when he can put a tech lab down. Now, GuMiho is, of course, scouting cross positions, but goes down along the bottom path to get there, bypasses that proxy. All right.
Thanks for passing it off to me right as I was yawning.
I can't. You're sitting off to my right, and I'm looking to the left. I can't see it all.
I was thinking about all the things I wanted to say, but all that was really coming out was that would have just sounded like a Wookiee, right?
I was about to say you just became Chewbacca all of a sudden, so I guess I'm the only one who can understand you.
Well, you owe me a life debt now, so that's it.
Well, damn it. Okay.
Looks like it's going to be a Marauder rush. Hooray! I was afraid we were going to have a TVT series without a Marauder rush.
No,
thanks, SeleCT.
Silly. We're going to have one every time.
That's right. And the SCV keeping the Marine occupied in the main base there. SeleCT doing a good job of microing that, keeping it alive for as long as possible.
And unfortunately, now it's going to die.
It's like, no.
Marauder
was almost there.
Well, let's see. GuMiho has not seen this yet. He scouted all over SeleCT's base. He didn't find any structures. Checking up here. Oh, wait, where is it? Is it up here? No. Looks like SeleCT is going to wait for 2 Marauders before he goes after this. Yeah. And GuMiho already preparing some Marauders of his own.
This is going to be interesting. This is actually, I think this is a great idea by GuMiho. In fact, kind of guessing that SeleCT is going for that. And look at this, a Marauder already out for GuMiho. How useful is it going to be? SeleCT's like, hey, wait a minute. It's not good to go Marauder expand in TVT. And guess what, SeleCT? It is. Oh, maybe not. Nice target firing there. And the Marine dies as well. SeleCT left with the only Marauder on the board right now. Second one for GuMiho on the way. Just popped out.
And there is a bunker being placed down. We'll see if GuMiho can start going after that. It's going to draw some fire away from the Marauders, though. He's not actually gone after the SCV that was building it, just the bunker itself. And now GuMiho pulling a lot of workers off the line to try and deal with this.
Yeah, he kind of needs to.
Yeah, he loses a couple of those, though.
The SCV. It's getting very low.
Oh, it is, but so is the bunker, but neither one of them have been focused down yet. Finally, the SCV is going to fall.
Oh, yeah, and SeleCT not having another one there in time. He's just going to use that barracks for vision right now.
Yes.
Will he cancel the bunker? He does cancel it just in time.
Yep.
2 Marauders, 3, and some SCVs.
Right. And
SeleCT is going to be able to pick off some of these supply depots, too, with this.
Very nice. I mean, with the bonus to armor there, and of course, buildings being armored, they take quite a bit of damage from Marauders. But now it's 3 Marauders on 3 Marauders.
Oh, that SCV just stops. He's like, oh.
That's so annoying, though.
Almost there.
All right.
It is. It's 100 minerals that GuMiho could have spent on something else right now.
What is SeleCT going with back at home? 2 more barracks.
Oh, you know what? GuMiho is proxying a building as well, in fact, I think. Oh, no, he just floated out that factory to scout a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Going to put it down, probably put a tech lab. I think GuMiho's probably going to be going for Banshees out of this.
And let's see here as SeleCT deciding to stand in and engage, moves back against those. Not really sure why that happened. He is going to lose 3 Marauders to the 2 of his opponents, so he comes out with a disadvantage there.
Yeah, a little bit. And so what is he going to be doing back at home? Okay, he's got 2 more barracks up. He's got a tech lab and a reactor. He's going to be able to make some medevacs fairly quickly because he's got the factory on the way. And yeah, GuMiho actually going for the Viking first, just to make sure that he stays safe against the possibility of a Banshee from Select, which is a relatively common follow-up, so not surprising at all to see him go for that Viking first. And he's actually going to be going for a second Viking as well, rather than Medivacs. Interesting.
And, you know, Select should pick up on that, so we'll see what he does in response. He also sees that the Tech Lab is producing an upgrade, and I wonder how he'll respond to that. Select can try and get as big of a read on his opponent for as long as possible. There's a Marauder now poking up at his own base, but we do have a bunker done with a Marine inside of it. That's going to be enough to push the Marauder away.
It appears that GuMiho is actually going to go for Mech play this game.
Yeah.
Should be quite neat. Select, you know, you can probably guess that it's Blue Flame coming out of that. Not a whole lot of cause to get siege mode quite that early in this matchup usually.
And he actually doesn't cancel. I wondered if he was going to cancel the upgrade, swap this over, and then end up going into Banshees after that. But no, he is going to go for both. It's actually still going to be a Tech Lab starport, but he's going to continue with that Blue Flame Hellion. Yeah,
and he's really got Select thinking Viking Medivac, I think, at this point, too. That's a nice little move by GuMiho. We'll have to see how much Select kind of falls for it.
Yeah. Now, Select has a fair bit of stuff up, and it looks like he is going to move down and try and start pushing away these units. Yep. Supply depot got quite low, but you should be able to heal that up in no time at all.
Yeah, so let's kind of take stock of things. How many workers do each player have? 30 to 27. GuMiho did lose a couple to that Marauder rush, so understandably he would be slightly behind, but overall not in a bad spot at all.
Not really, not really. Income rate's pretty similar for our two players, and bunker does get canceled as another bunker's being put down on the low ground. And GuMiho moving pretty far forward with these units.
Yeah, no kidding.
And this could be pretty risky. It looks like he's landing, and he's going to try and attack. Right now, the bunker's not done.
Oh, it's not done, in fact. So are these Marines going to be strong enough to repel this? He'll have to make sure he doesn't line up his Marines.
Yeah. He's done a nice job of that so far. Both of the Hellions are pretty low. I don't believe that was canceled, so we'll see if these Marines are going to be enough. They're starting to really make these units low, but hasn't quite killed anything yet.
This is a risky move by GuMiho. Oh, but Blue Flame does finish. That's huge if he can get a good angle on those Marines. This will change completely. Oh, but it's just too many Marines for Select.
Oh, wow.
Stim helps him clean it up.
Now, even though he lost a bunch of Marines there, those were two very expensive Vikings, a very expensive Marauder, and a Hellion thrown in there as well. So that was quite the gain for Select.
Yeah, this early in the game, you don't want to be losing units like that. GuMiho thought he could maybe push and deny Select's natural for a little bit, get him to lift, and then lift the Vikings to hit the command center. And, you know, when you're going mech like GuMiho is too, generally you do want to kind of keep the Vikings flowing, I guess you could say. He is coming out with some Banshees now, though, so he is kind of switching things up a little bit. Still going mech, though. He's got 2 factories on the way.
Cloak is finished. We'll see if Select is prepared for this. He has an engineering bay, but he does not have any missile turrets, and he's probably going to slap one up over at his natural as soon as possible, but he doesn't really have anything to deal with this Banshee quite yet. Already has 4 kills, 5 kills, continuing to go up. Select stimming everything back. He is going to scan. Will he get it? No!
Oh, it gets away. Wow. All right, GuMiho, the new lease on life for that Banshee. He does have a slight supply lead. These Banshees are going to be able to really lock Select down in his base. That's exactly what GuMiho wants right now because it's going to give him time to get his upgrades going for mech. Just get a good mech army going, first of all, as well. So, yeah, GuMiho in a great spot right now in this game.
And GuMiho is adding on double armories now. Oh, look at that. Another stim. And those do not have combat shields, so that would, most of those are down to half health, actually. Yeah. More structures being stopped here for GuMiho. These Banshees are just incredibly annoying.
You know, you can kind of fake that you're going to come up and scan, but to stim everything like that and not have a scan to well, I guess it kept the Banshee in that time, but
oh man,
still didn't get away. Yeah, so 2 stims, not very useful, and the scan not really accomplished anything. He does have some medevacs out, but, you know, it's energy I'm sure he would have liked to save for later.
Worker disparity is pretty huge as well. 39 to 50, so those Banshees have certainly done their job, and now Select is locked down, just like you said. Second engineering bay coming up, along with an armory, as we do have +1 armor about to finish up. So Select continuing with these bio upgrades, but he's got to do something and do it quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hard thing is that you need to stop building SCVs for a little bit in that situation and get units out. But then if you do that, you have less SCVs. You kind of continue to sort of creep behind your opponent a little bit more and a little bit more. So it's a tough position for Select to be in, definitely. He's going to need to try to find some sort of really good engagement to kill a big part of GuMiho's army and kind of get the game back to an even keel.
All right, well, let's see, as a good number of units are making their way across the map, but honestly, that force kind of pales in comparison to everything that GuMiho's got sitting back at home as he's adding on tanks now. He's got plenty of Vikings for air control, and the Hellion numbers are going up just enormously. He's sitting on 2 reactor factories.
Well, GuMiho needs to be a little bit careful about this.
Yes, he does. He's going to stem up. SeleCT is actually just going to continue running through. He's going to try and push and just end this right now, or at least try and win a big engagement, and he is going to take down both of the siege tanks. A lot of the Hellions are going to fall once the Marines have been dealt with. The medevacs are going to be able to heal those up very, very quickly. The Banshee tried to make its way back in for GuMiho as well, but it looks like it's held at bay by the Viking.
Yep, another hugely bold move by SeleCT. He did manage to kill a decent amount here, but I don't think it was worth it. It was not an even trade at all. His supply continues to kind of dwindle. He's getting a couple of Hellions here. That's not bad. But overall, I feel like he's just being a little bit too aggressive right now.
Oh, and he's going to kill a few more workers. And actually, he's going to get himself a fair number of Hellion kills. Maybe this is how he finally tries to equalize. Because he's at about the same supply disparity. He does deny a couple of mules as well, killing a couple additional workers, but finally does die. So 19 supply deficit, 54 workers to 47. So he's almost caught up there. It's mostly an army size now that's reflected in the 2 supply differences.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's see, what does SeleCT have on the way right now? He's got that 3rd base. That's starting to get a little bit of mining done. He's got 2-2 on the way, so his bio is still pretty powerful, but he needs to be careful just not to throw too many units away at his opponent. You know, that last attack was, okay, but he didn't really accomplish a whole lot other than kind of killing some units. GuMiho's got a 3rd base now. Not a lot SeleCT can really do about it.
Well, let's see here, as GuMiho's sitting on, is he just, 5 factories actually, must be 1 over on the low ground. Yes, there is, so a 5th factory is joining the mechs, and GuMiho adding on an engineering bay as well, probably actually wants things like building armor and range and stuff like that. Looks like GuMiho actually managed to sneak a few more kills over the Banshee off to the left. In total, he's killed 15 this game.
One thing that would be really, really helpful right now for SeleCT is to break through those rocks at the 3rd base of GuMiho and see if he can get in there and do some damage there, get that high ground with his army. If he wants to be aggressive, I think that's definitely the place to do it. But so far, he's kind of just content to sit in the middle of the map and let GuMiho kind of macro up here. GuMiho's hitting about that 150 supply mark. We might see him actually move out fairly soon here.
Well, he's sitting on 17 Hellions, 8 tanks. He's got a ridiculous defensive line. I mean, this is incredibly well defended. But now SeleCT is finally starting to go through the destructible debris, which GuMiho can actually see inside of a sensor tower and things like that.
Exclamation points mean that something exciting is going to happen, and it is. SeleCT moving into the 3rd base.
Yeah, and none of the siege tanks are here. They're a little bit out of range at the moment. The air war, though, is solidly won by GuMiho, and these units may be a little bit trapped. We'll see if he can take down enough Hellions here to try and equalize, but he did take some heavy losses already. Oh, but he's killing a lot of workers.
Oh, man, SeleCT, nice little move there. Oh, baiting the siege tanks up as well, killing off a couple of them.
Yeah.
SeleCT, doing what he can, but I just don't think it's going to be enough. It was his opportunity to do the most damage he could at that point in time, but yeah, GuMiho, even with GuMiho responding a little bit slowly to that, not quite getting his tanks in position in time, even with that, he still comes out so far ahead.
He's got GuMiho at least locked down and not wanting to move out for a little while. Looks like a big pack of Hellions is going to make their way up to the top. This is before the command center is going to be finished, so might have to be canceled. You took out Automaton in the process.
No.
You can't do that. That's...
Well, it happened. This is the reality that we have to live with. Oh, big stim by SeleCT.
Wow.
A couple of Hellions being left behind.
Oh, my God.
By GuMiho. Oh, wow. A lot of Hellions actually being left behind by GuMiho.
That's a huge win for him. And he's going to be able to save the construction of the command center as well.
Yeah, looks like he certainly is.
All right. Well, he's got Vikings position to go ahead and stop against any sort of Banshee flybys again. Another orbital command up for GuMiho, though, so he's already sitting on 4 command centers. SeleCT is doing no such thing. He does have a ton of barracks already. Let's see, that's 5 reactored barracks, 6 reactored, 7, 8 reactor barracks, 10 in total.
Yeah, and that's going to help him produce a lot of units very, very quickly. Mech, of course, one of the big weaknesses to that style is that you can't reproduce your units as fast as someone going bio. So if you can trade efficiently and then replace things quickly from that huge production facility, then in that case, you can usually win. So that's kind of the angle that SeleCT is going for right now. He wants to try to trade efficiently with GuMiho. And that last engagement, he started to. You know, he hasn't quite been able to win that big fight yet, but he's on the right track, I'd say.
And let's see here now. Select has not picked up on a 4th base anywhere, and, you know, he's caught up in supply. You know, oh, wow, GuMiho is actually very supply blocked. That's why he's building 4 supply depots at a time right now, because that was very, very bad for him. So
here we go.
GuMiho going to try and move things up to the front here, sieging just one of the tanks, slowly starting to push those forward. Dignitas Select engaging the front line of those Hellions, and then backs away before the siege tanks are able to do too much damage. Loses a little bit, kills a lot of Hellions, but, oh, wow, looks like he was thinking about moving over to the 12 o'clock position, but there's already a planetary fortress in position there.
Well, GuMiho doing a good job of not sieging up until the very last second, getting those tanks as far ahead in position as he could. And, Select getting a good spot here, but that's a lot of siege tanks.
It is a lot of siege tanks, but he has been able to bust through so many of them. The siege tank numbers are really reduced, and believe it or not, Select actually taking initially for at least a couple of seconds of supply advantage, but then once the medevacs start going down, it's going to swing back. Oh, very nice scam. Picks off one Banshee. He can't get the second one, though. Thought he was going to be able to, but backs away smartly before diving into the siege tank line.
Yeah, GuMiho in the meantime takes the gold base in the middle of the map here. That's going to help quite a bit. You can see he's getting those gases immediately. You need to have constant gas income to play a good mech style. He's also making a Raven now. Don't know why he hasn't had one until this point. Ravens are so useful in soaking up Marauder shots in those fights. So I'm kind of surprised that this is the first one we're seeing out of him. But his 3-3 for Mech is almost finished here. Oh, but Select catching him in a good spot.
Once again, you know, this is the second time he's done this where he's been able to whittle away those siege tank numbers. Yes, he's losing a lot of his bioforces, but you've said it before, he's able to reproduce those forces so quickly, and the siege tank numbers just down to 6. There were like 18 or 19 out on the field just a couple of engagements ago.
The big problem right now for Select is that he's lost a lot of medevacs here, so it's going to be tough to keep his units healed in the fight and then kind of heal them up outside of the fight. And GuMiho's got that 4th base as well, and it is a gold base, so it's going to make a pretty big difference. Corvid
Reactor, 2 Ravens coming up right now.
You know, I would love to say that he's going for Seeker Missile, but I think it's just to get faster point defense drones.
Hold on to the hope. Hold on to the hope.
You know, I want to believe so bad, but I don't think we're going to see Seeker Missile this game.
Well, I am going to take the flip side of that, and I think we are going to see Seeker Missile, mostly because I just want to see it. So
it doesn't make sense. But when does Seeker Missile ever really makes sense? Only in very rare cases does it work.
Exactly. And really, it's just awesome, and that's the real reason why you would want to put it out there.
It's the coolest spell in the game, hands down.
Oh, wow, these medevacs have to watch out. Oh, God, one goes down, a second may fall as well. Oh, gets away, but is able to unload the units there. Yep. Could have been it was already really bad for Select. Could have been even worse.
Plus air attack and armor being upgraded now for GuMiho. His upgrades are just looking really good at this point. Select maybe trying to think to see if there's a 4th base down at the bottom there, but he's not going to find one. In fact, Select may actually get his units trapped here in the lower part of the map.
Yeah, he really has to watch out now. Oh, he does see the air units overhead. That's a pretty big deal, as he's going to be able to pick off the Raven as well. That's pretty much free damage. Oh, but GuMiho finds the force down at the bottom. However, nothing is really sieged up. A pretty good line has already spread for Select. He's able to make his way through, kill a lot of those Hellions, finally starting to shoot down a couple of the tanks as well. And Select wins that engagement. He even kills the Thor as well. Beautiful job.
Yeah, and you can really see those upgrades come into play, and you can really also see just what an impact having a nice concave does against that type of mech army. Now, there weren't really a lot of tanks in that. I think if there had been, it would be a very different story. As it is, he killed quite a bit with the mech upgrades, but Select trying to do a little bit of damage with a drop in the main.
Yeah, let's see what he goes after now. Looks like just taking out the missile chart for now. He's also going into the 3rd as well. He's going to kill the command center there. Wow. So this is going to be a couple of bases that are shut down.
GG.
GuMiho, GG's.